If you are a Cameroonian, gather here and watch this video. This video is for Cameroonians. Now, this is the president of Kenya, William Samuel Ruto, visiting the construction of a stadium which is in Nairobi, one of those that will host the upcoming African Cup of Nations scheduled for 2027. He himself has paid a lot of visits to that same stadium under construction. And the amount allocated for that stadium, the government has not added additional amount, neither have they borrowed additional amount to construct that stadium. Now, in your own country, in my own country, in our country, Cameroon, the Olembe Stadium, which is one of the best, as was supposed to be the best in the entire Cameroon, that was to be constructed before the 2022 African Cup of Nations. The president of our nation, your nation, my nation, Paul Biya, never stepped his feet to that stadium until when it was the hosting of the first game, opening game of the African Cup of Nations. He never went there when it was being constructed, and we borrowed additional money that was aimed for the construction of that Olembe Stadium. The stadium was at one point abandoned. Now they borrowed additional billions of francs CFA to fund the construction and the completion of the project Olembe Stadium, which, as I am talking to you as of now, has not been fully completed. In fact, some major parts are already dilapidating. They are breaking down like this. You see the difference between pragmatic leadership and high instruction leadership. Now, when I say the issue about high instruction is killing Cameroon's economy, killing Cameroon infrastructural development, killing Cameroon agriculture, in fact, killing the nation as a whole. Some people come and be arguing. Because how do you explain, how do you understand, how do you comprehend the fact that in Yaoundé, a stadium is being constructed, a stadium worth billions of CFA, presumably a stadium that is the major work of the president, His Excellency President Biya. He himself never stepped feet on that same stadium when it was being constructed to even see, to even an extent that the stadium has not been officially commissioned because it has not been completed. But look at what Kenya is doing. That work, the work there is 70% gone. 70% in whatever was agreed upon, 70%. William Ruto is making visits in that site. He himself is there, seeing what is happening. You see, when I tell you that some nations in Africa have gone far, that when I hear we say we are a continent, yeah, of course we are a continent, and that's why I say our things are moving to a different perspective, because we are the continent of Africa. We are a country with a continent. That it only takes grace to understand the country, because even the head of state, I'm sure himself, sometimes don't understand Cameroonians the way they behave, and vice versa. Because you cannot imagine that a stadium was being constructed in Yaoundé. Till now, the Olembe Stadium has not been officially commissioned. Billions have been spent. I'll play this video of President William Ruto. You see how engaged he is. And when Kenya was to be given the hosting right for 2027 African Cup of Nations, this President William Ruto, my president, civilian president, because I have about 4 presidents. I have first on the list, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, El Presidente. Second, I have John Mahama of Ghana, as John Mahama of Ghana. Third, President William Samuel Ruto. Third. Fourth, President Donald John Trump. Donald John Trump. That is those are my presidents. When it comes to the other side, I have President Paul Biya, which is the other side. I want you to watch this video.
Wangwana, Mambo, they were busy treating doubts. We trusted the process. Now look, see for yourselves. Talanta Stadium is right here. Hii ni noma sana. mtapenda.
Vous êtes le futur de notre société. Vous êtes les leaders de demain. Vous êtes les innovateurs de la prochaine génération. Nous sommes là pour vous aider à réaliser vos rêves et atteindre vos objectifs. Bacheliers, devenez les architectes de votre avenir avec l'Institut universitaire du Golfe de Guinée de Douala.
Since 1993, the University Institute of the Gulf of Guinea, it is 3 higher schools, ESG, ISTA, ISA,